Knock,
Hey,
knock.
who's there?
Doctor.
Oh,
Planet of the pudding brains.
There's no point in being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes.
Do you like a jelly baby? Shut up!
hello and welcome, Whovians. It's time for a brand new episode of Musings of a Pudding Brain. I'm Adam.
And I'm Matt.
What's up, Matt?
Oh, we're pushing on through season 9 here, trying to get my late to the party butt caught up.
It's okay.
I'm absorbing a lot of episodes in a short amount of time here. I've got Doctor Who on the brain to the point where I fell asleep the other night trying to ponder whether or not the TARDIS had to recalculate for daylight savings time, and what a pain in the butt that's gotta be. It's just extra math.
I really don't think that it calculates that at all. It's just like relative space-time dimension just goes, yeah, I'll get you there. Don't worry.
Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly. Yeah, it just was one of those things where it's like, I've watched a lot of Doctor Who lately.
It's great when those end up being your questions. You're like, I wonder if that's a thing.
Yeah, is that a thing? I don't know. I just see it as it has to be annoying because the planet doesn't care what time you think it is. It's where it's going to be in space.
Exactly.
Regardless, and then having to backtrack and do all the math to figure out like when daylight savings time started and what time zone are you in. It's just, I can just see the TARDIS doing an electronic facepalm going, why do you make it so complicated?
I mean, it also has the TARDIS itself has its own consciousness, so it probably is just like, I don't know, stop doing all the calculations. I've already done it. We're halfway there.
I know where we're going. Buckle up, shut up, enjoy the ride.
Just hit the button.
Just hit the button.
Flip the switch. Okay, good. Release the handbrake, okay?
Right, yeah, take the handbrake off. We're going now. Right now. So, opening of Season 9, The Magician's Apprentice.
Yeah, we're going through, the first 6 episodes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Or trying to.
The first series of 2-parters, which Season 9, it's like, okay, and it's to be continued. I love the long storylines. You're really pushing it here. Work with me.
Another one.
And another one.
And another one.
And Dan. No one dead. No one dead. But yeah, so the Magician's Apprentice opens with desolate battlefield, obviously a war of some kind going on, and a child runs off, and a soldier goes to go catch it up with him and walk him back out, and we're introduced to hand mines, which are creepy.
Yes. So for me, I see this setting, and I was just like, that is a lot of fog, and why is it so muddy?
Yeah, like, it's okay. What happened here? What's going on? Did the desert just have a flash flood? What happened? But either way, of course, you see the sand rippling, and my geek mind goes immediately 2 different places. Either, all right, we're at Arrakis, and this is going to be a sandworm, or Tremors, one or the other. Somebody's probably about to get eaten right here. And sure enough, somebody gets eaten very quickly. The soldier trying to save the child does not make it.
No.
And the child is then stuck in place in a literal minefield. No way to get out. All these creepy hands with eyeballs staring at him, which has to be unnerving no matter how old you are, much less being a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, the voice from the distance after the sonic screwdriver gets tossed into the circle. The doctor, of course, immediately shows up in somebody's worst hour, and you have that, oh, okay, he's here, he's going to get him out, because...
That's what the doctor does.
Well, actually, the doctor doesn't always get everybody out, but he's going to try his hardest. He's got very good odds, and the doctor gives the boy the speech about you only have 1 chance in 1,000 to survive, but you only need that one. Focus on the one. Come talk to me. What's
right here? What's
your name? What's the name of the boy that's not going to die today? Davros. What? And then it cuts to the opening credits, and the jaw's already on the floor going, oh, okay.
I know. For watching that, like, you go from Death in Heaven, Darkwater Death in Heaven, where that level of drop happened with the Master.
Right. The immediate reintroduction.
And you're like, all right, well, Christmas episode's done. We've had this huge break. Let's get back into Doctor Who. They're going to, it's Capaldi's second season, they're going to ease us into it. It'll probably start off with a fun little romp someplace. No.
No, we're
No.
going deep, heavy, dark, guilt-ridden Doctor
I was like,
with the quickness.
this is... did we enter the darkest timeline?
It's pushing it. It's pushing it. But, flash forward to the future. Clara hasn't heard from the Doctor in a while, and suddenly all of the planes have stopped in the air. Just dead stop.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure some airbags were deployed. Just people freaking out. God knows I would have. And, of course, they come to find out after the government shows up, Osgood...
Unit's there.
Yeah, Unit shows up, and Kate and Osgood are on the scene. Oh, wait, no, Osgood isn't there.
No.
Oh, Osgood.
No Osgood.
Oh, see, too many episodes compressed into one.
I know.
But, Kate shows up, and then, it's a train. We're getting a message from a signal that's for the Doctor. I don't even think he knows it's still there. And it's, Missy, you so fine, you blow my mind, hey, Missy. And it's like, she's back right away. This is going to be, we're diving straight into the nut job right here. Let's do it. This is a fun time. And comes to find out she has received the will from the Doctor who believes he is going to die.
Yeah.
Within, the next day.
Yeah,
Which, again, how do you cross-dimension time track that? Is it his next day, their next day, who's next
his
day? Okay, fair
next
enough.
day.
And Claire gets a zap trying to pick it up because you're not his best friend. I'm his best friend. I've known him for ages. You try and kill each other. That's kind of our thing. Oh my God, they might as well be married.
Well, for me, you go back to David Tennant's Doctor, and there was the talk then that the Master and the Doctor have been were friends for almost as long as they have been enemies. So seeing that, you're just like, the sound of, I believe it was the Sound of Drums, where you see the two younger boys, one of them looks into the time vortex, and he starts hearing the sound of drums, and you're like, oh, that kid's the Master. And it's just like, well, yeah, so the other boy in that scene is the Doctor.
Right.
They were, actual best friends. One of them went one path and decided to try to take over everything. And the other one is the Doctor.
Who's trying to save everything.
He's like, give them a benefit of the doubt. Come on. Yeah. The Master's like, no.
Because we always have that one friend who's like, nope.
I'm better than them.
Yeah, I'm better than them. They're all idiots. I know they're all idiots, but they're not that bad. You shut up over there. Get in your box and go away.
Yes.
But... yeah, and anytime she shows up, it's always good times because she is just restates the fact that she is just BS crazy.
Yeah. Oh, she's crazy.
Immediately starts vaporizing agents. Like, what? What are you gonna do? You've got 8 snipers. You should have taken me out by now, but you won't.
Nope. You need me.
You need me. And look, you want a selfie? No. So they track the Doctor by figuring out that they needed a hot spot where he was making a lot of noise, but there was no real crisis going on because he's having himself a party.
Yes.
So where does the Doctor go? The Doctor goes to 1138 Scotland, introduces himself as the Magician,
Yep.
and gets challenged to an axe fight. Which he shows up for the axe fight riding a friggin' Abrams tank, wailing on some electric guitar. You're like, what? You wanted an axe fight? That joke will be hysterical in a couple of 100 years. Do you like my tank? I got it for my fish. I might have bought it online. Don't worry, you'll catch up with the jokes like, oh my God, he's hammered and just riffing. And then he looks up after a bit rant with the audience saying how much they partied and how he's introduced the word dude several hundred years too early.
Too early, yep.
He looks up and sees the ladies on the parapet who have used miniature transporters.
Yeah, it was the time vortex manipulators.
Yeah.
It's what Captain Jack has used and River Song.
Yes. Because calling them mini TARDISes is just not right.
No.
We can't do that.
No, actually, the Doctor hates them because every time a time vortex is used, it actually punches a hole in the time vortex manipulator punches a hole in the time vortex every time it's used. So it's actually bad.
Which, of course, is why Missy has no problem using it.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, they show up. He sees them on the parapet and immediately starts playing Pretty Woman.
Gotta love
which was hysterical.
That's actually Capaldi's playing, too.
Yes, you were telling me he was in a punk band with Craig Ferguson, I believe you said? No,
back in the 70s.
See, need for a actual TARDIS. Just be like, take me back. I just want to see him jam once.
Yeah.
Because this would be awesome. God only knows how the parties those two would have probably ensued with. I'm just saying that time in history, a couple of Scottish guys in a punk band, there was a party to be had somewhere. There's a story somewhere in there.
Yes.
But so after he introduces the ladies to the general crowd, Colony Seraph shows up. Seraph.
I do like how all the way up to this point there have been, the cutscenes or the cuts to Colony Sarf, visiting the Sisterhood of Karn, visiting the Maldivarium. Basically, Sarf has been searching for the Doctor as well, and just going to everyone that knows the Doctor. Finally catches up because he was probably following Clara.
Yeah. Well, because that's what Davros tells him. If you want to find the Doctor, look for his friends.
Right.
So she was the last known companion. So, yes, he would have followed her and probably done the same thing that they did. Now, how he was able to jump back in time, if that was a Dalek hookup, because, of course, they're deeply involved.
They have another version of time travel, which is even more,
more like suspended animation.
No, because they can travel back, forth, do all of that. Theirs is even more bastardizing to the time vortex than the time vortex manipulators.
Of course.
Theirs is basically mining through a mountain, and the mountain is all of time. They're just yep, we're drawing a direct line to this
straight
spot.
on through.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
They would strip mine the time vortex if they could. Which would destroy all of reality.
Which they would be fine with.
Exactly, because they would win.
Because exterminate.
Yeah, because they would be the only ones left.
Yes. Friggin' robotic cockroaches that they are. But I just chalked up, actually, there's a line in the next episode we'll talk about that completely explains such things like how does he show up.
Yeah.
But we'll come to that. We'll get to that. Colony shows up, ends up taking the Doctor and the ladies with him. The Doctor, of course, objects to this. The ladies tell him off. Pretty much just tell him, we're coming with you. You don't have a choice about this. It's dangerous. It's always dangerous. We know who you are. Yeah. We're coming with you. And
we're here to try to protect you this time.
Right. And they end up going to what appears to be a space station. As soon as they are teleported away, you go back to the guy that the Doctor was supposed to have the axe fight with.
Yeah, because this entire time, the town is still in the stands,
watching
all of this happen.
Yeah, just watched the guy turn into a literal pit of snakes in front of them. But then again, they also have had this gray-haired maniac running around calling himself a magician. They're probably a little jaded to shenanigans at this point.
They're just can we go back to the way it was?
Yeah.
It was quiet.
Can't we just have the church?
Yeah. Someone get the Catholic Church in here, quick!
It's so much less convoluted. Well, what? Nothing? Shush. But yeah, the other combatant goes down, he finds the TARDIS, and of course the Dalek antenna comes out of his friggin' head. And okay, so that's how they found him. They had one there already.
Or the entire town.
The entire town was. You never can tell with Doctor Who.
Especially since now that they have the ability to convert humanoid bodies into living, breathing Daleks without the encasing. I'm just you guys just became a little bit more creepy.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, the antenna coming straight out of the forehead is a little like, how did you fit that in there anyway? Is it collapsible? Is it like one of those shrinky cups? What's going on there?
There's that thing going on, and I'm just like, well, where did you move the brain to then? Oh, actually, you know what? I don't want to know.
No, let's not ask it. You know, you never know with a Dalek what's going to end up where. I doubt they have a real good idea of anatomy besides what will kill you.
Yeah.
Which is everything with their energy weapon.
Now, I do like how, the Daleks have seized the TARDIS, if you will. I was like, all right, this is a lot like the Angels have the TARDIS. Now it's the Daleks have the TARDIS.
Yeah. And just like the proverbial dog chasing the car, what are you going to do with it now that you caught it? You can't do much with it, really.
You can't get in there.
Yeah.
It will block you. But they do want the technology so they can improve their time travel abilities.
Right, but it's the if we can't have it, nobody can.
Yeah, pretty
syndrome. But they take they have everybody captured. They usher the Doctor away to go have this meeting with an unknown person. And the ladies are left on to their own devices.
Yeah.
And Missy, of course, being batshit crazy, starts messing with Clara. And is just, we're just going to step outside. Something's wrong here. Something's wrong. Gravity's wrong.
Yeah.
And moseys over to the airlock. Like, we're both going to die. I'm going to kill us both. Here we go. And hits the airlock, and there is no explosive vacuum.
Nope.
Nothing happens. And
Nothing.
She starts dancing across the stars, Mary Poppins style, and just, come on out. This is the ground. Talking to Clara, just totally patronizing as usual. Like, pay attention. You're missing a lot. This is the ground. It's a whole planet. What we're seeing is not what we're seeing. And she figures out where they are because everything comes into focus, and they're on Skaro.
Yeah, holy crap.
Like, the absolute worst place for any of them to be.
Yep.
And they're slap in the center of the Viper's nest. And the Doctor doesn't realize it until he's talking to Davros. And he looks out the window and says, oh my god, you've brought me to Skaro. Like, are you out of your mind? Well, I know you're out of your mind, but are you crazy?
I mean, it's not the first time that the Doctor's visited Skaro.
No, but again,
typically it's either when the Fourth Doctor did it twice, once before the Daleks had been created, or as they were being created, and then after, when there was a weird period when they were not a threat to the universe, but they got reawoken and became a threat. But both times, Skaro itself was peaceful for the Doctor. And then there's, after it was, when it was in its decline, he visited there then too. Skaro's also kind of a cursed planet because it's been destroyed.
Seems like multiple times.
Well, no, it's only been destroyed once. By the hands of the Doctor himself.
Awesome. So
Seventh Doctor adventure. We'll get to that
in classic.
Oh, that's gonna be hilarious.
All right, fair enough. But yeah, he realizes where he is and exactly how much imminent danger they are all in.
Yes.
And then, in true Doctor Who fashion of leaving things on a total sort of cliffhanger, he then witnesses Missy and Clara both die in front of him.
Yes.
Zapped by the Daleks.
Mm-hmm.
And Davros just basically saying, like, I gave them life. I can't control them. I can't do anything. They're going to do whatever they want to do, and then they do what they want to do and blow up the TARDIS. To which point everybody's like, you can't destroy the TARDIS. You can't do it. And then they just vaporize it, Death Star style, and just atomize everything. So you're left with the death of the best friend, or the death of the nemesis, basically.
Yep.
The death of the companion.
Yep.
The destruction of his ride, which is just the ultimate dude insult.
I know.
And comes to remember that, I could have potentially saved everybody if I had just taken you out when you were a child.
Yes.
And it's the how far is this doctor going to go? And he, like, after Clara dies, he just completely loses his wig and, picks up a blaster and threatens Davros.
Yep.
And declares, I'm going to save them the only way I can. And then you jump back to the doctor in front of the young boy in the hand field. It says the same thing. I'm going to save my friends the only way I can. Exterminate. And then you hear the gunfire, fade to black, end of it, and you're going, oh, come on!
I do like in this last scene, if you will, the flashback to the fourth Doctor, where it was, if you knew a child was going to grow up to be this person, do you stop them earlier? Because in Genesis of the Daleks, he's given that choice. The Daleks are about to be created by Davros, and the Doctor can kill them all. What kind of decision do you think the Doctor's going to make? Compassion is very strong with the Doctor.
Yes. And in fact, Davros mocks him at one point, saying that compassion was always his weakness.
Yes.
Which, it's the whole, is it a weakness or is it a strength? It's the question, it's the Pandora's box with hope being the last thing in it. Is it a curse or is it a blessing? Which, it's 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other, and it's the constant back and forth with the Doctor. Okay, like, I really want to do this. You can see it in the cross eyebrows. He really wants to shoot him.
Oh, God, yeah.
And then we get into the Witch's Familiar with the question unanswered.
Yeah, because we open up to Clara hanging upside down.
Yeah, trussed up like she's a deer out in the field, and Missy sharpening a pointy stick, which is, again, what? They're dead! How did...
My question really was, where'd the rope and stick come from? Like, out of everything else, that was my first question.
Again, that one will be answered by the Doctor when we
Yes.
first see him. Because after we figure out, okay, Missy and Clara alive, they used the teleporter trick that the Doctor had used previously. And just basically used the energy weapons to charge the teleporters and get away. Unfortunately, it blew the teleporters right off of them. They can't use that anymore. They're stuck on Skaro with nothing but a pointy stick. Which Missy has, which is probably not awesome.
No, it's perfect.
Especially if you're the companion, just not trusting her at all. The Doctor turns around, meanwhile, in a fit of rage, tells Davros to get out of his chair. And Davros, of course, said, I can't leave this chamber. It sustains me. He doesn't want you to leave the chamber. He just takes the chair.
Yeah,
and
I
pretty
just want
much
the chair.
pretty much says busts into the Daleks' control room, surrounded by them. They all try and light him up immediately. And, of course, he's the Doctor. He's thought of this. Davros has a shield and basically tells them, yeah, of course, he's lived around a bunch of you psychotic mini-tanks for hundreds of years. I'm having his chair.
Yeah, this is the safest spot.
And they come back from commercial break, and you see the Doctor again, and the first thing you see, he's sipping on a cup of tea. And he asks the question. The real question is, where did he get the cup of tea? Answer, I'm the Doctor, just accept it.
Okay.
This mantra should be used liberally throughout Doctor Who, I'm finding, because there's a lot of things like, wait, where did the rope come from? Where did they get the stick? Where
Just
did all
accept it.
Just accept it, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly.
You're having a little too... Remember, we're having fun here.
Yes.
That's all it is. Don't think too hard about it.
Except the fact that the Doctor has the timeline covered even if you don't understand it.
Exactly.
But, so after I wiped my eyes away from laughing hysterically at that little non sequitur, we flip over and Clara and Missy are trying to infiltrate the main complex. The only way they can get in, of course, in typical fantasy style, is through the sewer system.
It's always the sewer system.
It is, because nobody wants to deal with that shit.
I know. Literally.
Like, literally.
Nobody wants to deal with it.
It's one of the worst fantasy tropes ever, if you need to infiltrate a fortified position, you go through the pooper.
Yep.
I mean, just right through it. It's not going to be fun. Everybody's going to smell. Everybody's going to hate you. You will probably succeed because nobody expects the raccoon bite on the bum in the middle of the night, literally. And if you don't get the raccoon bite on the bum joke, then go camping once or twice and you'll figure it out. But either way, the sewers are a special kind of hell, because the Daleks, as we all know, do not ever actually die.
No.
That doesn't mean they don't stop aging, and they don't stop deteriorating at a very slow rate and basically rotting. So that is literally what the sewers are. It is their graveyard. It's not even really a graveyard. It is like the worst retirement home ever.
Yeah.
I mean,
I do like how Missy uses Clara as a canary in the mine.
Bait. Yeah, bait. Again, she keeps using Clara as bait. And she's pretty upfront about it, too. This is what's going to happen. Just deal with it, love.
I love it because you see, for me, it was one of the first times where you see the dynamic of the master with a companion and how you see how every time we watch Doctor Who, we see how the Doctor treats his companions and you literally uses them sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
But Missy is just like, yeah, I'm going to tell you up front that I'm going to use you, and I'm going to put you in a lot of danger. The Doctor will never say that he's putting you in danger, but he does. He does, so he can save the day.
But he doesn't tell you so that you're not scared.
I'm going to do it because I don't care.
Yeah, if this doesn't work, I'm still going to get away.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Sorry
I'm just
about
gonna
your
walk
luck.
away.
Yeah, sorry about your luck, but I'll catch you on the flip side. So yes, of course she handcuffs Clara to a sensor, basically alerting everybody that, hey, there's somebody down here that's not one of us. And tells her, we need to kill and capture and kill a Dalek, and I'm gonna use you. Don't worry about it. And pulls out a brooch that is, of course, a Galfreyan artifact that can, of course, puncture any known metal, basically.
It's a MacGuffin.
It's she's a Time Lord. Let it go. Accept it.
All right.
Yeah. Say it with me. I'm the Doctor. Accept it.
It's Doctor Who. Just go with it.
Just go with it. And then, in her typical Jokerish fashion, she proceeds to start poking holes in the poor Dalek that comes. I just said that too. The poor Dalek that comes to investigate things.
By the way, very rarely do I ever feel bad for a Dalek.
Yeah, like, very rarely. But this one, I kind of feel bad for this one because after he gets a bunch of holes poked in him by the psycho div that's right there.
Yeah.
Then the entire graveyard comes up and they put, like, in the ultimate necromantic play, Missy literally invokes all of the dead Dalek to come forth and kill this one.
Yeah.
And literally liquefy it from the inside out.
It was pretty twisted.
Yeah. Still can't figure out what exploded since the armor seemed to be intact, but there was a definite explosion because Missy covers Clara up around the corner and there's a boom and something splatters.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet it was just internal sensors and whatnot.
Fair enough. And then it just gets more twisted. They then pull the body of the Dalek out of the armor and Missy forces Clara to get in.
Yeah.
And hook the sensors in through the temples and basically put her in the tank. Okay, first of all, let's just talk about crawling into somebody else's corpse for a minute and just go, and and we can move on from there.
Even better is it's the second time that Clara has been a Dalek. Literally been a Dalek.
Right. It's not real comfortable with
I know.
At all. And figuring out that she can't say her name because all it translates as I am Dalek. It can't say I love you or show any affection. Becomes exterminate. And hysterical how saying exterminate is literally how they reload.
Yes.
Like, that makes total sense now. I thought they were just crazy little buggers. Well, they are, but
I
now
mean,
there's
they
a
are.
point to it that's
But they're
just
like, oh, I have to say this to
exterminate, click, click. That's what you're hearing.
Okay.
So we flip back to the doctor, who, of course, they kick him out of the chair. Davros gets
Finally.
his chair back. They
Yeah.
finally kick him out. And the back and forth between the doctor and Davros about, am I a good man? Did I do right by protecting my own just like you did?
Yes.
And it's starting to, you start to feel a little sympathy for Davros. Just
little bit.
a little inkling. You almost want to have the pity for him there a little bit. And he even goes so far as he's tempting the doctor with killing all the Daleks. You have the control, you have the power to do so right now.
Right.
Genocide is a choice.
You can do this.
Yeah, flip the button. And of course, Capaldi's doctor waffles back and forth.
yeah.
You can see the gears turning.
The Daleks are out of everyone. If the doctor, because I mean that the doctor is totally capable of committing full-on genocide. He has that ability. He has the mental capability to pull it off rather quickly. Out of all of his enemies, the Daleks are the ones that I could see it happening to.
Oh, absolutely.
He's just like, okay, this is happening now.
Even so far as just one day, he just, in a fit of pique, just like, you know what? I have had enough of your crap.
Wipe
Snap.
you guys out.
Yeah. Doctor gets the Infinity Glove, and you're gone. Boom.
Only half of them died, though.
Only half of them die.
He's like, oh, I gotta do this again?
Yeah.
Then it's only half of that group. He's like, go and just starts
Just starts
snapping fingers all over the place.
David Tennant's doctor comes back. He's like, okay, seriously, stop now.
You're having a little too much
Stop.
fun with this now.
Yes. Put it away. Put it away. But in a serious moment, Davros calls out the doctor and is like, well, why else would you have come? You believe you're going to die, and are you not trying to alleviate some of your own shame about leaving me in the hand field and not helping me at all? And the doctor responds, I didn't come because of shame, but a little shame never hurt anyone. I came because you're sick and you asked. I'm not just a Time Lord that ran away. Today, I'm the Doctor. And it brings it back. He's getting some of his core back. His principles and what he stands for. Like, yes, I'm always putting myself in danger and everyone around me in danger. Yes, you are my enemy. And yeah, I'm still thinking about capping all of your kids out in the other room here. However,
They need a hard spanking.
you came to me and asked for help.
So what help do you want?
So I came.
Yeah.
And it's almost one of those moments where you kind of feel like it's a familiar thing. They are almost like their family that definitely doesn't get along, but
Right.
you called, I came.
Kind of I also kind of look at it as the same type of dynamic that Missy and the Doctor have, that Batman and the Joker have,
Yeah, it's very, very dysfunctional.
where you're like, neither one of us trust each other. We've tried to kill each other multiple times, but you asked for my help.
Yeah.
Why'd you ask for my help? And now I'm here to find out why.
Yeah. Now I'm curious. You've got my attention. You've got me here. What, huh? What's going on here?
All right.
Davros has this moment again where he asks, was I a good man? You tried to protect your people the same way I tried to protect my people.
Yes.
Am I any worse than you are?
Yeah.
And it's kind of one of those, he's kind of got a point.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it to him, but he's kind of got a point.
You know, the person who's got the chalkboard that's keeping track of points at that moment, like literally just very slowly, just staring at both of them, just slowly writing that one in silence, and just be like, "I'm so sorry. That one had to go up."
Fixed point in time. I am so sorry. And he even goes so far, Davros even goes so far as after realizing the compassion the doctor is showing to him and kind of being touched by it, wants to look at him with his own eyes and has a very Darth Vader moment, like, take this mask off, Luke. I want to see you with my own eyes.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, we'll give it to you, not Vader. We'll give it to you.
I do like the fact that he still has his original eyes.
Right, which you would think would have just completely atrophied at this point, but I'm the doctor, just accept it.
Okay.
Again, just go with it.
Yes.
And Davros wants to see the sunrise again, so the doctor is basically sitting up with the dead at this point.
Yeah.
Wants to see the sunrise, and he almost gets there, and that's when the cheeky monkey manages to trick the doctor into stealing his regeneration
Energy.
and feeding it all into the Daleks, and he totally pulled a Joker on him and like, haha, fool, you fell for it. You're a compassionate dumbass. This is why evil wins.
Now, for me, the best part of this is that there was a line with Matt Smith's Doctor. What's the worst thing you put in a trap? Me.
Right.
You don't put the Doctor into a trap because it never works out for anyone.
But like every good villain, it's the time I almost got the Doctor.
Exactly.
I came so close. Because, of course, and as the energy is being ripped from the Doctor and it's being fed into the Daleks and everything looks as bad as it can possibly be, he starts spouting off about a prophecy of a hybrid creature that's half Dalek and half Time Lord, and the Doctor needs to own up to his responsibility for the creation of it because he's going to do it and he knows he's going to do it.
Yeah, it's crazy, this hybrid theory. It's the hybrid that's going to sit upon, what was the prophecy? The hybrid will sit upon the ruins of Gallifrey?
I believe so, yes.
Or, something like that. I'm trying. It's been a while since I watched the episode, okay? I'm just looking over my notes from, how many years ago? 3 years ago?
3 years ago.
All right.
Well, as he makes this revelation and is continuing to rip into the Doctor, Missy and Clara have infiltrated past the sewers and are working their way back up into the main structure, and of course get stopped by a Dalek.
Yes.
And Missy immediately tries to worm her way back into their graces, going, you kind of need me. I have to go see Davros, this and that. And they're just not buying it at all.
No.
Ever. Ever. It's very hard to bullshit a Dalek because they just won't buy it.
Yeah, they are very, very singular.
Yes, very focused as to purpose.
They're like, no. You don't seem right. We need to just destroy you anyway.
We're just going to eliminate the problem from the equation, and we'll be good with this.
Don't worry.
Which, in a way, I can kind of appreciate that. It's like, we'll just eliminate the problem. We'll be fine. But socially unacceptable ideas, apparently.
It doesn't really work well at the family dinner table.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But in the meantime, the Doctor, being the Doctor, has his immediate "ha-ha, fool" kind of moment where the villain finds out that they've done exactly what the Doctor wanted them to, and that, yes, all this energy has been fed into the Daleks. All of them.
All of them.
So in a play that, of course, he has to taunt Missy with his necromancy play, and literally energizes all of the Daleks on the planet, all of the ones in the sewers who are very cranky that nobody's come to visit them in a while.
I know. Seriously, why don't the grandkids call?
Yeah. Well, they're coming to take the grandkids' toys and their entire planet with them, apparently, because everything rises.
Yeah.
Mass chaos starts.
Buildings are falling down.
Buildings are falling down. The Doctor is trying to get out of there, trying to decide, does he wipe these people out?
Or does he just leave and let things happen?
Yeah, and just let the cards fall as they may. He meets up with Missy and Clara, still in Dalek battle armor.
Yes.
And Missy, being Missy, tries to get the Doctor to shoot Clara. Which, again, she ought to know by this point. He's not going to open fire.
Nope.
He's just not. But he figures it out because Clara asks for mercy.
Yes.
And he's like, you
like,
should be able to say that. You should not
how
know
did you
what
say
that
that?
is. Figures it out, something's amiss, gets her to open it up using the mind probe.
Something like that.
And just tells Missy to run, and she can't leave without throwing the crack about, you're the one who always ran away, not me.
Yes.
And at that point, he just run, and you can tell, he's like, woman, you're pushing my last nerve.
I mean, there's probably a million reasons why the Doctor has been running from Gallifrey for ever. 2,000 years now. Myriad of reasons. He was president.
And who wants that responsibility?
Exactly. You know, he's the outcast. He's the favorite son. You know, he's everything. He's a mythic hero for them. He's also their worst villain. You know.
He's literally a man of many hats.
So I mean, half of
faces.
his running is probably because he's like, I don't want the responsibility. Don't make me go back.
Yeah.
The other half is what's out there. Some of it is I don't like what Time Lords are doing with their responsibility. I'm gonna go do what I want.
Right. I don't like what any of you are doing with your responsibility. I love you all, but I don't trust any of you ever, because you're just a bunch of pudding brains.
Yes. Now, one thing that I did really, really like about this was that Doctor then jumps back to saving Davros.
He does, but before he gets back to that, they have to get back to the TARDIS.
Oh, yeah.
So he and Clara end back up in the main.
I skipped a couple of
main
lines,
room.
I'm
You
sorry.
did. You skipped a very important part because we still have to deal with the wheels. They get back into the main room. All the Daleks are freaking out, and the Doctor, in cool, calm, collected fashion, is just standing in front of them and smiling at them, and puts on his sunglasses, which are his new sonic screwdriver. While they are very cool and very much in the Capaldi Doctor, I'm not sure how I feel about this. I'm gonna
It's
be
a
honest.
novelty. It's a novelty item. I mean, much like, you know, the 11th Doctor's sonic cane that he had in one episode. It's a novelty item like that.
Fair enough. It was just one of those, like, all right, very rock and roll, and standing with the axe fight and tank fight in the last episode, but okay, we'll see where this goes. Of course, uses the sonic screwdriver. The TARDIS is not destroyed, it's actually there. It's just dissipated enough to not have, like, visible, tangible form.
Right.
But the energy field is still there, so the Daleks try and shoot them, and it just bounces off, and they're like, haha, we're in here. It's bigger in here. Bye.
God.
And off they go. And that's when the Doctor goes back even farther to Skaros. And
Sorry. I literally just looked at my notes regarding the sonic sunglasses. I was like, brings, you know, TARDIS back together. Please don't keep the sunglasses around. Kind of tacky.
Yeah, it's like I said, very, very rock and roll and staying with the earlier episode and the tie-in.
Yeah.
But
Like the way that they felt very out of place being used at that moment. I'm just like, oh, okay. So that's what we're gonna do with them. All right.
fair enough. Yeah, and Doctor goes back to Skaro and to the minefield, and on the other side, and continues the conversation with young Davros, we come back to the I am going to save my friends the only way I know how, exterminate, and he opens fire on all of the hand mines.
Yes.
And basically clears a path through the field so that the boy can come. And again, keeping in with being the Doctor, saved you. Not really sure how he feels about it, except that he saved somebody. He stayed
Yes.
true to his principles, and it's not his decision whether or not somebody dies.
Right.
And it's very much the hero's creed kind of thing of heroes do not kill, only villains.
Yes, I do love the fact that also adding this this action added mercy to into the Daleks themselves.
Right. Which is probably a good thing for Missy, who was left in the Daleks' hands after being captured yet again. As we head into episode 3, her fate is uncertain, but knowing Missy, she'll be back, she'll be up to no good, and she'll probably have a small army of mini-tanks with her.
Yes. Sadly, I'm going to have to stop you here. We've hit 45 minutes.
Oh, wow. All
Yeah.
right, right on.
But yeah, we're going to... This is actually where we're going to have to wrap it up. It's, for me, a slightly shorter episode, but... because, I mean, seriously, audience, you've seen this happen 1,000 times. Remy and I will talk for an hour and a half, know that we have to get through a bunch of stuff, and only get through about half of it.
We actually did have a plan, but there's a lot to cover in these first couple of episodes. There's just so much that happens.
I know. But thank you guys for checking us out, getting through this entire episode with us. Go ahead and hit the like button, hit the notification button. You know what? Share it with somebody. Let us know down in the comment section. How did you guys like these 2 episodes? What were you minds blown as much as we were? Anyway.
Any random questions that will just have to be answered with "I'm the doctor, accept it."
Yes.
Share your thoughts with us. We'd love to hear them.
And can't wait for you guys to get back next week when we get into Under the Lake and Before the Flood.
Yes, the quote-unquote Scooby-Doo episodes. We'll get into it, but you'll have to tune in next time to find out.
Yes.